pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
So a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking, live from the Rockingham Speedway, North Carolina Motor Speedway, The Rock, track of many names. Hello and welcome, folks. My name is Joe Towanski. Joining me up here in the booth tonight, you know him, you love him. He is not Dewey Schramm the first, not Dewey Schramm the second, but Dewey Schramm the third. Dewey, welcome to The Rock.
I heard you say not Dewey Schramm for a second, and I was like, did you forget my name all of a sudden? And then I'm glad to let you finish.
What if I did?
That wouldn't have been very good.
No.
Glad to be here regardless, though. Always a fun track to visit here is North Carolina Speedway. A good lead-up event to the return of it to the NASCAR National Circuit next year.
The Rock.
Yeah. Cool
Can you smell
joint. Yeah.
what The Rock is cooking?
Can we?
I'm not going to let you finish.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
We'll see if our noses are good enough.
Go ahead.
No, it's good.
Oh, okay.
We're good. We're all good. No tension up here.
No tension.
No tension.
No tension. My college team sucks. Dewey's is getting better.
Mid to better. We're getting there.
You know, it's the fall. You know.
Yeah.
It's the fall. This is your Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series race preview, presented by AutoSim2. AutoSim2 is now available on Steam. 138 laps tonight around this mile and a third racetrack, or maybe it's a mile and a quarter. I don't know. We might have got that number wrong. But
mile and change.
Mile and change. How bad did I? How off am I?
Let's do a little.
Oh, it's about
Googling
a third.
here.
It's a mile. It's a mile track. It's a mile track, and we're gonna put that graphic away because it is incorrect.
It looks like it is officially 1.017 miles, so just a tad over a mile in length.
Wow. So just a little bit over 138 miles tonight for these drivers. That's a lot, isn't it? Around this place.
It can definitely feel like a lot if your car isn't great.
Have you ever had a great car here?
I've had a couple of decent cars here. I've had a couple of terrible cars here. And this is one of those racetracks where if your car is terrible, it just makes the night draw out longer and longer and get increasingly more frustrating. Rockingham, of course, one of the circuits that demands tire conservation. Unlike most others, this track eats up rubber and spits it back out like it's chewing tobacco. So it is...
it's fitting.
It is of utmost importance, of course, for these drivers to conserve their tire wear as much as possible, as it will come in handy over the long runs that this race, I'm sure, will have.
I mean, this track doesn't lie along the Tobacco Road, does it?
I think it's just south of there-ish.
Okay.
Not too up to speed with all of North Carolina's geography quite yet, but I don't think it is.
I thought you were going to say geometry.
Well, that too.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome
what I am
in,
up
folks.
to speed, though, with is our qualifying order.
Well, I just wanted to say welcome in to Tristan and Greg in chat. Welcome in, you two. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday night. And Dewey, why don't you take us through that starting lineup here tonight?
Yeah, had a couple folks not take a qualifying time, and one that I think everybody expected to be up at the top that struggled a bit there in qualifying. And so, leading us to the green tonight is going to be BSR Terry Scott in the 66, scoring his first pole of the year. So great job there by Terry to secure that top spot. And just 7/1000ths of a second behind him is Silver Bullet in the 4. So both of those guys putting together great laps to get themselves on the front row for tonight's race. Rounding himself out in third will be Dane Stinson in the 17, and to his outside Joshua Clements in the 92. Nelly and Rick Craddock make up row 3, with Magoo and Tyler Mallon making up row 4. Tyler, the last of the cars to take a qualifying time, so only 8 cars put a lap down here tonight. Row 5, Ken Hansen in the 9 and Steve Grant in the 011, and rounding out tonight's 12-car field, a bit of a small one here this week, Monty Keller in the 028 and Brain Fade in the 49. So Brain Fade shotgun on the field here for tonight. Again, a bit of a smaller field than usual, but Rockingham is always a fun little place, so should still be a fun one here over the next hour or so. And see how it all unfolds.
Next hour or so, he says.
Something like that.
Something like that. There's Brain Fade out there for Brainiac Nation. Brainiac Nation tuning in full force here tonight. Hey, you know whose Nation had a pretty cool unveil and it's a driver that you like?
Who's that?
Junior Nation.
Oh, I bought merch for that so
Already?
unbelievably fast.
Wow. I'm thinking about getting that crew neck.
The inner child in me was screaming from the rooftops when that was announced.
In case you missed it, Dale Jr. Motorsports announced that Dale will be driving the number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet late model in a few races here in 2024 and 2025, starting with Florence in a few weeks, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, that diecast was purchased very quickly. That and I got the crew shirt.
The crew shirt.
Yeah, or the uniform.
Oh, they made a uniform shirt?
They did.
Oh man, now I gotta look this up.
And they received my money for it. Yeah. See, now it leads me to a pipe dream where they move Sammy Smith to the 9 car next year and Junior does a one-off in Xfinity with that. I don't think that'll happen, but a man can dream.
I mean, yeah, you can dream.
Big aspirations.
Surprised they made a jacket, too.
There were, I think, 2 or 3 different sweatshirt designs and a couple t-shirt ones. Like, they made quite a bit of stuff for this. But with good reason, because I'm sure all of it will sell out.
Yeah, I don't see the crew shirt. I don't...
Oh, it's there, because I bought it.
Well, I don't see it on the Junior Motorsports website, so...
But, obviously a very cool announcement that I don't think anybody would happen. Despite it being, you know, been almost 2 decades now since that car has run on track. And they just said, hey, let's do it again. So, very cool that they did.
Out there in Viewerland.
Also very cool is happy hour ending, which means we are just around the corner for race time.
Yeah, I got kicked out of the server.
Well, I guess you're the only one that's not ready then.
Yes. I'm the only one that's not happy.
Unbelievable.
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 Unbelievable. Dude,
Yeah,
are we
something
gonna be
like that.
are we gonna be silly goofballs tonight?
We might be.
Ooh, does anyone want to hear us be silly goofballs tonight? Say aye.
Aye.
Well,
I'm answering for the people.
the people. I represent the people.
What I say goes.
This is what happens when we don't broadcast as regularly, you know?
Something like
I
that.
feel like I'm looser. I have more fun up here in the booth, you know?
I can't wait for the Talladega race that we're doing for this. That'll be a lot of fun up here.
That'll be a lot of fun. 2 weeks' time, I believe?
December something, I think, right?
Sounds right. Terry Scott on the pole tonight. Silver Bullet to the outside as we wait command, get engines fired here from Rockingham.
Should hurry up with it.
You hurry up.
I'm here.
Drivers, start your engines!
We have command, and engines are fired here from the Rock. Again, it's Terry Scott on the pole tonight. Silver Bullet to the outside. Dane Stinson there in the 17 in position number 3. Joshua Clements, Nelly, Rick Craddock, Magoo, Tyler Mallon, Steve Grant, Ken Hansen, Brain Fade, and Monty Keller. Field of 12 here tonight from the North Carolina Motor Speedway.
You might see Tyler sitting there in 8th and wonder, well, why is he starting back there? Well, that 18 was fastest by 2.5 tenths in practice, but struggled a bit in qualifying and was the slowest of the cars that took a time, so he'll have a bit of ground to make up here as this race goes on, despite the speed that car clearly has, but we'll see what Terry and Silver Bullet got for this field.
But they got field rolls off of turn number 4, flagman with green in hand, and we are racing here from the Rock.
Great start there for the lower line as Dane Stinson's going to try to pull even with Silver Bullet as we make our way through 1 and 2 for the first time this evening.
17 car a little bit up the racetrack there through the center of the corner. Clements has to be careful. Silver Bullet holds on to the second spot as the battle's on for third, as Clements going to hug the door of that 17 of Stinson. They're 3 and 4.
Yeah, Clements is ripping it through that middle groove right now, and he powers by that 17 to take that third spot away. Middle groove definitely going to be the preferred line there through 3 and 4, but again, tire conservation, you're probably going to see guys migrate up the track as the run goes on, as they will not be able to keep it along the bottom of the track for as long.
Magoo losing some spots here in the opening few laps. You saw him tap the wall there off of turn number 2. These cars, they do not like turn 2, Dewey. That's always, for me personally, that's always been the tricky spot at this racetrack. Exit of 2.
Oh, absolutely. Always been my trouble spot here as well, but Rockingham is also the one track you don't want to hit the outside wall at because those walls are angled up a little bit, and if you hit it too hard, you'll just get sent right over and upside down.
Really?
Happened plenty of times in real NASCAR races, and it's definitely happened to me here before. So one of those tracks I'm going to be extra cautious at, especially on that turn 2 exit.
Well,
Obviously, go ahead.
Mrs. Kathy Voiles, we're doing well. How are you doing?
We are doing fantastic. But obviously a different track shape is Rockingham, but I kind of group this track and Dover in the same kind of group together, where it's a very similar track length, very difficult to get around, and small mistakes can add up very quickly and become massive mistakes without much effort. Very tricky tracks to get around.
You ever made a big mistake?
Plenty.
Oh.
I got a bigger racer for him, though.
Ha. I just have white out.
Silver Bullet is erasing the lead that Terry Scott has, or is trying to, as he gets a big run on the bottom there through 3 and 4, as the 66 got a bit too high up there in corner exit, and it's a dead heat at the line, but I believe the 4 got it. So there is your first lead change of the night. Silver Bullet to the front.
What, is there anything to be gained by running that higher line through the corners in terms of saving the tires a little bit?
I think it's definitely going to save the tires a little bit, but I'm just not sure how much of a difference it's going to make over a long run. Like, I think on a short run, you might just want to use up the tires as much as possible, especially if we have a late race restart, but I think it'll only be a minimal gain by running up there at the start of a run. But we'll see what Terry's able to do with that. Kind of hang out for now.
So Terry's entering higher and kind of like diamonding the corner, it looks like.
Definitely seems that way, but obviously the slower way around the racetrack But we'll see if over this run, if the 4 uses up his tires more. Though he hit
He's
the apron
way
there in
up
the
the
middle
track.
of 1, so Terry's going to be back there anyway. And back to the lead is Joshua Clements closing in on that 4 car as well. You can lose and gain ground very, very quickly here at Rockingham. It almost feels like slingshots, something you see more commonly at a plate race with bump drafting, but you can gain or lose pretty much half a second very, very quickly at a place like this. As you see right there, the 4 closed up so much there in the middle of the corner and is almost to the back bumper of Terry Scott now, down into turn 1. And actually, it looks like the entire field is starting to close back in on itself as Dane Stinson and Nelly are starting to get up to the rear bumper of the 92 as we have another lead change with the 4 of Silver Bullet taking the lead back once again. There's Clements on the bottom. He makes a move for second, and he clears Terry Scott down the back. Dane Stinson and Nelly looking to join them through 3 and 4, so a couple spots lost there for that 66 machine, but we'll see if maybe his tires are less worn by the end of this first stint here on the track.
I think we're actually starting to see that 66 go away a little bit here, Dewey.
Definitely seems that way as Rick Craddock gets around him now. Tyler Mallon now making a move on his inside. So Terry kind of bleeding spots here right now. But back up at the front, the 92 of Clements going for the lead here. Bobbled a bit coming in out of 4. That cost him a bit of time, but
And
he is
Stinson's to
fast
the
and he is
outside.
still there. Yeah, and Stinson.
Adidas.
Yeah, definitely want to try to hug the bottom as much as you can through 3 and 4, but if you bobble even a little bit, you're going flying up the hill and you're losing all your momentum. It's a game of inches as these guys try to work their way through that turn 3 and 4.
Oh, here we go. Nelly now to the inside of Clements, so Clements losing some momentum here. Contact!
Oh, and up in the wall! Just a little bit of contact there with Nelly, and that's going to send the 92 back through the field, and just like that, him and Terry Scott around each other once again, but instead of first and second, it's 11th and 12th.
Dane
So
Stinson
they're all
takes
the way in the back.
over the race lead here. It's by Silver Bullet working lap 15.
Already our third different leader.
Oh, look now, Tyler Mallon up inside the top 5 for the first time tonight as well.
Slowly working his way through the field. Started in 8th, now up to 4th.
Ellie
Yeah,
working to the inside of Silver Bullet.
I honestly didn't think we'd have 3 different leaders this quickly on in the race, but with how this is going, we might have a couple more with Nelly and Tyler mounting a charge here.
Tyler now gets the inside of Nelly in the 103.
I think Nelly checked up a bit going into 1. I think Silver Bullet slowed up more than he anticipated, and that cost him enough time to allow the 18 to slot his way under and around. Nelly completes the pass on the 4 this time, but will now have to get himself back around the 18. Got the 92 on pit road here this time.
So I
Joshua
think
Clements.
Clements might have used up his stuff a little bit too much.
Definitely seems that way. And to get that right side damage fixed. Not sure how severe it is, but maybe a little. That will put him at least 1 lap down, potentially 2. Which, if he goes a second lap down, he's probably going to need a caution to get back in it. Steve Grant getting underneath the 4 now. I believe that's for 4th out of turn 4. You can definitely start to tell now who was saving tires and who wasn't, as the 4 and the 66 and the 92 all started up towards the front but have faded as this run has gone on. And guys like Nelly and Tyler Mallon, who just passed Stinson for the lead, conserved their stuff and are now showing their faces at the front of this field.
And so as Tyler takes the lead, this gaggle back here of cars is having some fun
They are.
for fourth.
Monty Keller, Ken Hansen going at it back here with Brain Fade just behind them. Silver Bullet on a bit more worn tires also in this mix.
Well, and Terry Scott, who started on the pole, started so strong, he's losing these guys back here. So it really looks like, dude, the guys that were running out front, they used up their stuff, and now the guys that were maybe starting out further back that were a little more conservative, running a little bit slower lap times, they're starting to make their way to the front.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure how long a fuel run is going to be for this race.
Ooh,
But
Steve Grant, really loose
Oh,
there in
boy.
2.
close call there for him.
Go
It'll
on.
cost him a bit of time. Yeah, I think we'll see ebbs and flows with this throughout the race. Definitely seems like there are some guys that just want to use up their stuff and just stay up there as long as possible, perhaps.
Perhaps.
For apathy.
For apathy.
Oh, Steve just nailed the wall out of turn 2. Again. Much harder than the first time. He's still going, but probably some damage there now.
Alright, I think we've settled down, Dewey. I think we've
Just a
settled
little
down.
bit.
Upcoming races here on JTN, a special one, Monday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, Danny Hardy Memorial Race from the Texas Motor Speedway. Again, that's Monday, October 28th. That's 4 nights from now. Tune in for that one, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday. Fuel Grand National Series heads to the Homestead Miami Speedway Wednesday, November 6th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Maverick Cup Series returns for their final 2 races of the season. First, from Phoenix, November 12th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races, of course, all live right here only on JTN.
Good slate of races there. I will be there.
Dewey will be there. Be there.
Be there or be square, as they say.
Are you a square or are you a rhombus?
I don't know. Well, I'm not a square because I'll be there.
Well, because that's the
I
thing.
don't-
Like,
I don't know if I'm a
rhombi,
rhombus either.
all squares are rhombi.
Not all rhombi are squares.
Exactly. So,
Looks like Tyler just put Magoo a lap down here in the middle of 3 and 4. So you got 2 of them down a lap with the 92 pitting earlier and 10 on the lead lap. And the
I
field
see-
is now very spread out.
there's some college football discussions in chat, and I would just like to say, as someone that saw Texas play in person this year, wow, that was if they weren't playing my team, that would have been a more fun experience.
I bet.
Also, if our quarterback at the time knew how to throw the ball, or at least not throw it to the other team, that would have been helpful as well.
I had the fortune of seeing UMass play in person this year.
Oh, future Mac school.
Yeah, UMac. But it was cool because they were playing Missouri in Amherst for some reason that I still don't know. But I can now say I've seen an SEC team play in person, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I was thinking about going to the Michigan-Oregon game here in a few weeks, but then I decided no. I'm just going to watch it on TV at a bar somewhere.
I do have to give a shout out though to Missouri. Their fans travel very, very well.
I'm pretty sure any fan base would have traveled pretty well up to UMass, honestly.
I mean, fair, but they filled out the other side of the stadium very, very well.
Yeah.
I was impressed that
That's-
many people
It's
went to
crazy
the middle
that's
of
kind of
nowhere.
like high school.
Yeah. Harry Scott coming down pit road here this time.
It's okay, Greg. I knew this year was going to be bad. I just didn't think it would be this bad. And we play MSU this weekend, and I'm scared.
Michigan is certainly something so far.
Yeah, I feel like if we just had decent quarterback play, it wouldn't be too bad, you know?
That Washington game was a head scratcher.
Yeah. Then I didn't get to watch the Illinois game, which is probably a good thing.
I'm curious to see how Illinois plays Oregon this weekend.
Me too.
That'll be interesting.
I'm curious to see how Oregon plays us in 2 weeks, just because they have to travel, you know?
Yeah.
Because they've only
It's still-
traveled one other time so far this year, I think.
Yeah, they went to Purdue and they won by a lot.
But Purdue is the worst team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I hope we don't have any Purdue fans in here because they stink.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. If you like Purdue, don't.
Yeah.
Shout
Got
out-
a couple cars on different cycles out of turn 2, and it almost just resulted in a wreck here. As Clements, who's in the middle of an off cycle, Terry Scott, who just came down pit road, and Magoo, who's on really old stuff, all three of them almost came together there out of turn 2, and the results were near disaster. But they managed to keep it all going, and they stay green.
Hey, Mr. Michael. Yes, we are. Hope you're having a good time over there at RTG. Thanks for tuning in.
Got
Say
the 4
hello.
on pit road here, our outside pole sitter.
There goes the leader, Tyler Malin, on by. Tyler's still
So there-
putting up some decent lap times, too, isn't he?
I believe so, but there you see the trade-off for not conserving tires, as that's both of our front row starters pitting way earlier in the run than almost anybody else, and as a result, Terry Scott now sits 2 laps down in 12th place, despite starting on the pole. So he's going to need some help in the form of cautions to get back in this race. And everybody else that has been conserving tires a little bit is still out on the racetrack, having yet to come down pit road. And obviously those guys will make up a little bit of time on tracks as long as everybody else continues to stay out there on old tires, but I don't think the trade-off will be worth it. Because obviously when those guys pit, then they're going to be on better stuff, and they'll gain that time right back. Rick Craddock pits from 7th here, as you have 100 to go this time by. The right side of Steve Grant's car is beat to all heck. I think he hit the wall out of turn 2 a couple more times. Motoring along for now, but the right side of his car has seen better days. And looks like he's coming in the pit this time. Brain Fade coming on in as well in the 49. Looks like he was in 6th at the time of pitting. Looks like Magoo is coming on in this time as well in the 144. I think that leaves 5 or 6 that have yet to pit, Tyler Malin being one of them.
Not good when the leader's still out there clicking off good lap times and got a lot of other cars pitting, and all, the ones that haven't pit yet, they're also not clicking off the best lap times.
Yeah, we mentioned in the pre-race the 18 had a lot of speed despite the slower qualifying time, and you're seeing it now. As Dane Stinson in the 17 also still running some decent times and
But
running
7
in second
seconds
place.
back,
Yeah,
Dewey. I mean,
yeah, I think the entire top 5 has yet to pit. Clements on back has already pit at least once, but the 92 pit way before anybody else. But they're all 2 laps down. So I don't know how much longer the 18 can stretch this thing out, but what it might result in is about half the field being trapped a lap down for the rest of this race.
well, and how much is taking one less pit stop, too?
Exactly.
Gonna be worth.
Ken Hansen on pit road, and I believe one other car is too, Monty Keller. So now just the top 3 have yet to come in, and now Nelly is from 3rd. So Malin and Stinson are the last 2 standing here on this very prolonged pit cycle. And now you see Terry Scott coming up to get by the 18, so Terry gets one of his laps back here under green. And Malin coming on in this time. A little bit close there to the barrier, but made it on pit road regardless. And looks like Dane Stinson just starting his stop as well, so that will complete the fuel cycle here. It took about 10 or 12 laps for everyone to come down, but that will be everybody.
I think what this might do is it might cycle Joshua Clements up into the lead, Dewey. But Joshua had pit so much sooner than the rest of the field.
Yeah, he was the first car to pit because of the contact he had with the wall, so he's going to lead temporarily, but he's not going to be the leader for long. I imagine that once the 18 and 17 come off pit road, that they will probably pass the 92.
Well, everyone's passing the 92 right now.
Well, yeah. Yeah, he's just so off cycle with everybody else right now. He's kind of on an island of his own, and I think he's going to be one of those that will need a yellow to truly get back in it, despite leading right now. But it would be much more beneficial, of course, if that were to happen now while he's leading.
Right. Where he has to make that next pit stop.
I think the gap between him and Tyler is going to be about 6.5 seconds, roughly.
Yeah, well, that's what it was this last time by, but I mean, it's gonna
drop, though.
very drastically.
Already down to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So Tyler will probably be the leader again within 5 or so laps. Another 5 or so seconds after that to Dane Stinson in 3rd. So by about lap 60, it should be the 18 and the 17 running 1-2 once again.
You like the call for the 92 to kind of, we saw the trouble plague that team there at the start with some damage to the right side and hitting the wall. You like the idea to maybe short pit, see if things can work out? Because here's the thing, this 92 team, I think they're going to have to do this the rest of the race now.
Yeah, I think the trade-off potentially will be, can he hold on long enough at the end of the race to hold off Tyler on older tires?
But again, you're going to have 2 more pit cycles, right?
Yeah,
It's 2 more opportunities for a caution to come out that would get the 92 the lead. Because everyone's pitting if there's a caution.
That is true. It could work. It could also result in him finishing way in the back. It'll remain to be seen which of those it is, but here you see Steve Grant unlapping himself, and Tyler actually leads that lap at the line with how much of a run he got out of turn 4.
Now Tyler will try to put Steve Grant that lap back down.
Yeah, Steve, the last car on the lead lap right now. Everybody back on the lead lap except for Magoo in the 144. But of course, Steve running right in front of Tyler right now. I'm sure Magoo hoping that 011 can keep himself on the lead lap in the event of a yellow. Doing a good job of it for now. I don't think he's going to really put up a fight against the 18 necessarily, but Steve did pit before Tyler, so the 18 does have a bit fresher tires than he does. Gonna have a battle for second pretty soon. Dane Stinson closing in now on Clements. About a second or so apart here out of turn 4. And that's not going to be much of a battle at all. Dane makes a move there into 1 and will pass with ease and goes on by. So there is your pass for second place. As the 92, again, already on such older tires that he just can't compete right now with anybody that's faster than him. Got a bit of a gaggle here out of 2. Nelly, Silver Bullet, Ken Hansen, Brain Fade. This is 4th through 7th here.
A gaggle, you say?
About the only gaggle. This is a third of the field all this close together here. Looks like Nelly will be the big winner in all of that. Monty Keller not too far behind these guys as well. They're in 8th. All of them running around 15 or so seconds behind Tyler.
You know, just casually.
Yeah.
Back
As
up
Monty
front.
makes the pass there for 7th.
Dewey, how hard is it to kind of keep your head in the game in a race like this?
Definitely more difficult as you see the 92 back on pit road here on that odd sequence.
Yep, so Clements will like kind of open up the pit window once again, but
Which only closed about 15 laps ago.
right.
He's just so far off of everybody else's pit time
Oh.
or pit lap.
He pit about 15 laps into the race, right?
Right.
So
As Terry Scott gets put a lap down there by Tyler.
it's been a struggle for that 66 team. Had such great speed in qualifying. Not been able to translate it here to the race. Now Joshua Clements will get back on track and try to put down some heaters.
But to answer your question, it can definitely be harder to focus when you've got, a bit of a smaller field like this that, gets all kind of spread out. And, when you're running on your own and you're basically in a zip code of your own, and it kind of just feels like hot lapping, but
Yeah.
with crappy tires.
Well, and the big question I have is, because I'm sometimes guilty of this if I'm driving down the freeway for like an hour or so, but do you almost set yourself on autopilot a little bit?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I'm sure most people in here can relate to that happening on a straight back road or a highway or something. Definitely can happen behind the driver's seat of a race car as well. It's happened to me in races like this before, especially at like super speedways during a pit cycle where you're just kind of on your own, just with nobody around you. But obviously, to track like this with a much higher or much lower margin for error, rather,
Mm-hmm.
it just it can lead to something bad happening much more easily.
What bad things are going to happen?
Well, I mentioned the ramp walls that this track features on the backstretch. Hopefully, nobody has a meetup with them tonight, but obviously, again, at a track like this, your focus needs to be much higher and less room for distractions and things like being set to autopilot and all that. But when you get a race that unfolds the way this one has, it can be very, very difficult to kind of prevent that from happening anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that mental game you got to play with yourself to always keep yourself in the game and on your toes at all times, because you never know what might happen. So if it's the 18 winning, we might know. Up by 6.5 seconds right now on Dane Stinson as we're closing in here on the halfway mark in just a couple of laps. As Silver Bullet gets put down another lap. We're down to 6 on the lead lap for now. But we saw at the end of the last fuel cycle, everybody was able to get themselves back on the lead lap, but with the 18 being the last car to pit, now you're seeing that pendulum swing the other way for tire conservation, and the 18 having the freshest rubber of anybody else is now able to continue to put down fast laps, whereas others can't, and they're losing their laps once again. So the way this race will end, it's just a matter of where that pendulum sits at the checkered flag. Will it be here while Tyler is much faster, or will it be towards the low end of tire where everybody is kind of grouped together and on the lead lap. We will see after lap 138 which of those directions the pendulum is going, but for now, swinging way back in the 18's favor. Clements will look to unlap himself here and get one of his 2 laps back, with him being the first one come down pit road. As we hit the halfway point this time by 69 to go,
Nice.
69 down. Nice lap
nice.
there by Tyler Mallon.
Dewey, is that your favorite one?
It's up there.
All right. He's kind of a freak.
Uh-huh.
You didn't know that was coming.
No, I absolutely didn't. As there's Clements rocketing by on the outside on those fresher tires to unlap himself.
Dewey's up here pulling both of our weights, and I'm just over here making middle schooler jokes.
Unbelievable, this guy.
This is the dynamic we're going for, you know?
It works.
It works. It's very much us. Joey, of course, as we're working this race, we'd like to encourage folks to also go check out our sister channel, Track and Turf Media. You can check out this week's edition of the Fake Racers podcast, where you can hear from myself, my colleagues Matthew Steelman and Davey Hazard, about all the things that happened NASCAR in Las Vegas, including Joey Logano's big win to advance himself into the Final Four. And they can also go check out this week's edition, Week 7 recap of the NFL with Oof Sides.
Double dose of Matt.
Double dose of Matt, and then you and Steven on Oof Sides, of course. So encourage everyone to go check out Track and Turf, or search either Fake Racers Podcast or Oof Sides on your favorite podcast platform.
A little show this week.
Good little. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
Maybe Brain Fade can put it on fast forward here during his pit stop.
I don't think he usually like a 2.5 hour show.
Well, speed it up to like, I don't know, 35 times. You might get something.
I need y'all to make those shows a little bit shorter, a little more digestible.
We're trying.
I know.
Silver Bullet on pit road, trying to have a good pit stop here.
I did the math one time, and I'm like, if you did 5 minutes a game, times what is that? 16 games? Is that correct?
Yeah, about maybe on an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We do get carried away quite a bit, but it's all in good. It's all good.
Oh, it's all in good fun. It's all,
Yeah.
as long as you guys are having fun. That's the majority. That's the main thing. And Matt has enough time to edit the audio and stuff together. Dubert.
Yeah,
Is Dewey short for anything?
it is not.
Not short for like Dutholomew or something?
Nope.
Or Dubert?
That's it.
Or Dubertson? Anyone got a good Dewey name?
You look at my birth certificate, and that is what it
Is
says.
Dewey?
Yeah.
Is there a president named Dewey?
Someone with the last name of Dewey ran for president once. They did not win.
Who was it?
Thomas Dewey.
What year did he run?
I think he lost to Truman in 48, I think.
Okay.
Could be wrong. I want to say that's what it was.
Truman only had the 2 presidencies, right? Like he didn't run for a third. Because he got
Correct.
most of FDR's 4th term, right?
Indeed. Rick Craddock going to try to get the most of this green flag stop here. Is at 22 pits from 7th.
He's like, how do we get off of presidents?
Magoo coming on in this time as well.
Gordie Howe? That was a hockey player. Let me tell you.
A good one at that.
The best one at that.
Dude played professionally in his 50s.
Eat your heart out, Yamir Yager.
Absolutely. Our Malin down pit road this time, so interesting strategy call for him is he was the last one to pit the first cycle around, but he comes in a bit earlier this time. We'll see how this changes things, as I think Dane Stinson, Nelly, and Ken Hansen have yet to pit. So the 18 doing things a little differently this time, despite how well it worked out the first time. Maybe he's a little bored and he wanted to see if it would work. As here comes Dane Stinson as well from second. This race going by pretty quickly despite the amount of laps scheduled for it. Already on lap 82 here tonight. Just over 50 to go.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah. Terry's... Oh, nope, Terry not pitting this time. As Dane Stinson's still the leader despite pitting the last time by, as he comes off of pit road still with the race lead. As it now cycles to Nelly that last time by. 103 leading it here down the backstretch. See how many more laps he elects to stay out. And the answer to that's 0. Here comes the 103. Now, why say anything interesting when it can just be negated 10 seconds later? Which I believe will hand the lead to Ken Hansen, presuming he hasn't pit yet. It looks like he is not. The 9-car leads his first lap of the race, and it looks like he'll stay out at least one more time. And I think for the 9, he might be trying to stretch it on fuel to the end of this race, Joe.
You can't stretch it from here, Dewey.
Or if maybe
You gotta
maybe a
pit.
splash and go stop at the very end.
Yeah.
I think Tyler made it about 45 laps the first time. I don't know how much longer Ken can keep it out there, but... And actually, Tyler passed him for the lead.
Yeah, and is running away.
Yeah. As Steve Grant just completed his pit stop, and it looks like Ken's hitting pit road here this time.
Nope.
So the 18 pits a little earlier this time than he did before, but still ends up with the race lead by a lot.
A lot.
This time around, he is up by 15.5 seconds on Dane Stinson. When
Wow.
it was about 6.5 the last time.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
I don't know. What do you call that? I think there's a lot of different things you could call that. But
Domination.
Yeah, domination definitely works.
It's a nice one to use.
I can think of like 4 different ones that aren't great for the airwaves that will not make it there.
A butt kicking.
Yeah, that one works.
But replace butt with a bad word for butt, and replace kicking with whooping.
Exactly. So you catch my drift.
Like Stone Cold used to say, I'm gonna open a can of bomb on him. What?
So we got 3 cars on the lead lap now.
Yeah.
After all this. 16.1 seconds to Dane Stinson and 17.5 to Joshua Clements. Everybody else a lap down or more. But the 18 just
It's
yeah.
called executed a pretty flawless race.
has wiped the floor with the field so far, and there is still, I mean, still 48 to go. There's still a lot of time for something weird to happen, but looking pretty good right now. I believe the 92 is about to get put a lap down.
I believe he's going to be pitting here pretty soon.
Yeah, so when that happens, we're going to have only 2 cars on the lead lap, and actually that just happened right now.
Yep, there it goes.
With those much older tires, with the 92 so-off sequence, just cannot put up a fight whatsoever.
No.
So, Dane Stinson, the only other car on the lead lap right now, and he is, again, 16.5 seconds back, so
Aw.
Tyler may not have won the pole, but has still won about everything else so far tonight.
Dewey, I got some trivia about your name to give you.
What you got? Give it to me.
All right, Kathy put this in chat, so all credit to Miss Kathy Voiles, of course, for the research here. But Dewey has a masculine moniker of Welsh origin. The name can be traced back to, that's a word I
Etymology?
Thank you. To the Hebrew David, it means prized, beloved, loved by God, or uncle. It is also a variation and angified version of the surname Dewey, D-E-W-I, which has become a popular choice in America over the years.
Huh.
So,
I think I knew it was Welsh. I
you are
don't know
beloved,
if...
Dewey. You are beloved.
Hell yeah.
Which I can... Whoa!
Oh,
Language.
AT double hockey stick, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if I knew the David part, though. That's very interesting. Should start having people call me Dave.
Uncle Dewey.
Yeah.
Uncle Dew. Uncle
I'm gonna be the cool
Dewster.
Unc.
Dewey, do you want to be Bristol's uncle?
I'm cool with that.
Alright. Bristol isn't cool with that, it looks like. No.
Unbelievable.
Sorry. You've been overruled by our boss.
He's still a good boy, though. It doesn't matter.
He is a good boy. He was mad last night. He was trying to jump on the couch. And my feet were there. So I moved my feet so he had enough room to jump on the couch. So he jumped on the couch. But then he was still mad that my feet were there. It was unbelievable.
Well, did you give him more space?
I did, and then he still jumped off the couch.
Unbelievable. Joshua Clements hits pit road here from 3rd.
That'll be his last pit stop with about 40 laps to go. Just under 39.
Yeah, he's going to need a caution at this point with just how off sequence he is.
Yeah. Aw. Kathy said, so your parents loved you, Dewey.
Yeah. And they did. I think. Yeah.
Bartholomew. So it's Bartholomew. Yeah, whatever.
Something like that.
Dewey, leave me be.
Hey, you started it, not me.
Well, yeah, because you can't really make fun of my name, because it's a pretty common one.
Yeah.
Are you gonna call me Jostopher? Heard that before. Call me Johto? Literally the name of the network.
How do you feel about people calling you Joey?
Alright, do you want to hear the honest answer?
Joey Toey.
That's never again. So if I've known someone since I was, like, little, it's all cool. You know what I mean?
I get that.
So, like, my aunt calls me Joey still.
That makes sense.
And then, I have, like, friends' parents that'll call me Joey and stuff.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely get that.
But then my own parents don't really, like, I can't even, I'm, like, trying to think. Welcome in, Dan. You joined at a very awkward time for the conversation that we're having as Tyler Mallon is putting a whooping on the field. I can't remember the last time my parents, like, called me by my name. Is that weird?
That's a little interesting.
Like, I don't, like, hey Joe, or hey Joseph, or Joe, or, you know?
Yeah.
My dad says son all the time. That's a different can of worms.
My dad never really called me son that much.
Oh. Mine
But it
only
was
started doing it now, so maybe it's because I'm older, I don't know.
But it was also different because obviously my dad and I, with me being the third, we share a name. So it was always nice at family functions when somebody would say our name and we would both turn around because we didn't know which one of us was being asked something.
See, that's why you need Dubert.
Well, it eventually grew to where people would call my dad Dew instead.
Ah, okay.
Or sometimes they'd call me Little Dewey instead.
Little Dewey. I like
Yeah.
it. You are now Little Dewey.
That's my rap name.
Lil
Dew.
Lil Dew. Yo, yo, yo.
My mixtape's coming out next week. It's gonna be fire.
What are you gonna sing about? I'm sorry, what are you gonna rap about?
Racing and stuff. I don't know.
Okay, cool. Apologize, folks, for the conversations we're having up here in the booth. Again, Tyler Mallon leads the way. Dane Stinson in second. Nelly is third. Only the top two are on the lead lap so far. Stinson about 4 seconds ahead of Mallon on track from going a lap down.
Yeah, he's 20 and a half seconds up on second place. And fourth place is 2 laps down. It's just been one of those nights. No caution free so far. No real major contact outside of the couple of times that Steve Grant's knocked the wall down in turn 2. It's been a very clean, straightforward race that has just been absolutely dominated in every way, shape, and form by this 18. As he's trying to pit for the last time and cut it a little close there.
Okay, alright. Gonna make that last pit stop here.
So I'm sure Dane will probably stay out at least a lap or two. But either way, barring a caution or a mechanical failure or just some weird whatever, I think the 18's pretty much
Yeah, so here comes the 17.
got it locked up here. So Dane making his last stop of the night here. Tyler Mallon just finished up his. No other takers for this last cycle quite yet. Oh, Monty Keller got a bit loose there out of turn 2 and slid it into the wall, but he keeps it straight. Bit of an oh crap moment there for Brain Fade as that happened right in front of him. Rick Craddock on pit road there in the 22. Been a quiet night for him. He's run about 7th or 8th for most of the evening. So really, it's been a quiet night for pretty much everybody, with just how clean of a race this has been. Just one of those that really not a lot has gone on. There's been plenty of passing and strategy and stuff like that, but just not a lot of it at once. Silver Bullet on pit road here for his last stop. Started this race in second. I believe he was in sixth here at the time he came down pit road.
I think that Tyler is still the leader
I believe you're right.
and has made a pit stop.
Yeah, since Dane pit at the same time, so Nelly is about 12 seconds back of Tyler right now, but the 18 is pit and the 103 is not. So one of the rare instances where the leader pits under green and never loses the lead.
And Tyler's
That's just
coming
how
up
far
on
up
Dane,
front he
too.
is. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, the gap was about 20.2 seconds when Tyler and Dane pit. The gap is now 22.6, so Tyler gained like half a second on him on that pit stop. So 3 cars on the lead lap as Ken Hansen just got lapped despite him not pitting yet. It kind of feels like one of those races from like the 70s or something.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of races from the 70s,
Oh, you got a little
Bobby
news
Allison,
story.
after 53 years, finally got his 1971 Bowman Gray win recognized officially.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, like, Darrell Waltrip must be, like, seething somewhere, knowing he just got passed in all-time wins by a guy that retired 35 years ago.
Darrell Waltrip's about to break down Jim Francis' door.
So, congrats to Bobby Allison for making the championship 4 this year.
20 to go here from Rockingham. Stinson is now back into second.
A whopping 23 seconds behind our race leader, who is about to put Rick Craddock, I think, a third lap down here.
Oh,
As
man.
Steve Grant peels off onto pit road for his last stop. And Steve, I think, was already a lap down when he pitted. That's just
Yeah.
how dominant of a race he's had. As there's Dane right in front of him down the backstretch, so if he gets by the 17, he's going to lap the entire field here tonight.
My goodness.
I don't know if that's ever happened here in Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series before.
Yeah, I don't know if it's happened here. I know it hasn't. I don't think it's happened on our airwaves.
Yeah, this might be a JTN first here tonight.
And there aren't many of those left out there, are there?
No. As we are 17 laps away in about 2 seconds from, the first ever JTN race where the leader laps the entire field. So stay tuned to see if that happens. But it's looking increasingly more likely.
Build some intrigue, Dewey. Build some
Yeah.
intrigue.
It feels like almost an unbreakable record of sorts that somebody magically breaks, and then it's like, wow, so that is possible. As there goes Brain Fade down a second lap, so everybody fifth on down is now at least 2 laps down. And Dane Stinson holding on for dear life right now to be the only other car to finish this race on the lead lap. Terry Scott running just ahead of him in 11th here, our pole sitter. Been a bit of a rough one here tonight for Terry, just used up too much of his tires there on that first run and was never really able to recover from that. But the car definitely had speed in it, of course, winning the pole for tonight's event. So there's your gap between Tyler and Dane. That is first and second, but the car ahead is in second. As we have 13 left here at Rockingham this time by. You know, I think this strategy might work out okay for Joshua Clements after all. He's still running in 4th, the last car a lap down. Everybody behind him, he's got a lap to.
Yeah, so Clements was running last, right, when he made that first pit stop. So I mean, if he finishes anywhere ahead of that, that's a positive, right?
Yeah, looking like it's going to be about 4th for him, though, because he does have a bit of leeway here before 5th place can get to his lap and pass him.
Gotta make 11 more laps.
Yeah. And same for Ken Hansen. I mean, Ken obviously not as wild of a strategy as the 92, but I think Ken started around 9th or so and on track to finish 3rd as things run now. So great call there for Ken. Hit when he did. Actually, we have a battle for 3rd here. This is Ken and Clements on the same lap here out of turn 2. With Tyler and Dane behind them.
Joshua Clements get by Ken Hansen for that final spot up on the podium.
A battle for the right to answer questions asked by Joe in about 10 minutes.
Answer a couple questions.
Yeah.
We only ask the hard-hitting questions like, how are your tires? What did you think of the race tonight?
Yeah, the J in JTN actually stands for journalism.
Journalism Tow Network.
Exactly.
Now let's watch this battle for 3rd here, these last few laps. See if Clements can find a way to get around this 9 car. Because the other thing is, those leaders are coming up behind them.
Yeah, Dane and Tyler are right there. And there's your pass for 3rd. And then here comes Dane, and here comes Tyler. So now, 4th place now down 2 laps.
3rd place about to be down 2 laps.
As Dane makes a move here to the inside of Clements. Again, not for position. And there you go. So now Tyler has put all the way up to 3rd place, 2 laps down, and still right behind Dane to try to lap this whole field with 6 to go, or 7 to go, rather.
Well, that means 2nd place has put the entire field a lap down, too.
As well. Which, yeah, that should not be understated either. As dominant of a performance as this has been for Tyler, it's also been an incredible race for Dane Stinson, where he laps everybody except the leader who still laps him.
That would be incredibly frustrating, wouldn't it?
Like, this is actually kind of nuts, where we have a chance where 2nd place could finish on their own lap. With no one else, if Tyler makes this pass.
Incredible.
A very, very rare instance, potentially, in the cards here. Though, it also wouldn't surprise me if Tyler just kind of lays back and lets Dane finish on the lead lap either.
No, I think if you're Tyler, you got to go for the jugular here.
Honestly, I would. Full disclosure, I absolutely would.
I feel like he's kind of backed off a little bit here, honestly.
It does seem like that.
Because then the interview with Tyler's like, well, I didn't lap the whole field. You know, that's the first thing Tyler would say.
Yeah. 4 to go this time by, so he's got 4 laps to get this pass on Dane done if he so chooses.
I like how we're talking about it, too. Like, he can do it if he wants to.
Yeah, he's got full liberty to. He's got 24 seconds to work with to do whatever he wants. He could Ross Chastain this thing around the outside wall if he wanted to, and it wouldn't cost him anything.
Unless he flipped.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't be too good.
3 to go.
Needless to say, one of the most dominating performances I think we've ever had here on JTN. Again, all the way up to 3rd place is 2 laps down or more. And 2nd place, Dane Stinson, fighting for his life to stay on the lead lap here. You might not see this again for a while.
Maybe not.
2 laps left here at The Rock. Will he lap the field?
If I'm Dane, I almost want to let the 18 on by so I can, like, not run that extra lap.
Yeah, finish the lap early. Dane's going to get 2nd anyway. It doesn't matter for him at this point.
White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Tyler Mellon from Rockingham. It's your Death Craver 1 to go. Check out Death Craver now, available on Amazon.
Out of turn 2 for the final time tonight. Again, one of the most dominating performances ever here on JTN. And Tyler Mellon will come out of turn 4, coming up just short of lapping the entire field, but he put everybody else 2 laps down. Good luck finding a more dominant performance anywhere else as Tyler Mellon takes it here at Rockingham. As Dane will make his way out of turn 2. We got a crash out of turn 2, Joe. They waited until the last lap to do it, but Terry Scott's around on the backstretch.
My goodness. Harry, we're just going to pretend that didn't happen, buddy.
And out of 4, here comes Dane Stinson, the only other car to finish on the lead lap. Will take home second place.
25 seconds behind.
Nelly finishes 3rd, 2 laps down. Joshua Clements and Brain Fade round out your top 5, also 2 laps down. Just, again, one of the most unreal performances I think I've ever seen here in this series. Or any series, really.
Tyler Mellon will burn it down here for the fans at the North Carolina Speedway.
Looks like Terry had some help there from Monty Keller out of turn 2 on the last lap. Little easy spin there down the back. An 11th place finish for Terry Scott after winning the pole for 10. I'm sure not the finish he was looking for, but definitely a fast car and some good notes taken for the next race here at this track. But a 26.3 second margin of victory here in this one.
Results on your screens at home. Here from Rockingham, otherwise known as The Rock. Let's go ahead and start by talking with our 3rd place finisher. He's the driver of the number 103 BSR Nelly. Nelly, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
What the heck was that? 138 laps green. I heard all these rumors and rumblings about chaos and calamity last night in the trucks. Then you guys put on the cleanest race we've ever seen at Rockingham here. How'd that happen tonight?
I have no idea. It surprised me.
How tough is this track, especially on the tires?
Oh God, it's just about impossible to go the full lap or the full fuel round.
What do you do to manage that then?
I don't.
You just go for it?
Just go as fast as you can every lap, yep.
Hey, I mean, it worked out for you. Podium finish here for this 103. What, usually this is where I ask, like, what more did you need to get to the win or get to second, but, it felt like that 18 and the 17, they just, I don't know. What do you think made them so good tonight? Especially that 18.
I have no idea what makes him so good.
You think it's magic?
Share his setup.
It's got it. Do you think it's like, you know how like restaurants have like their secret sauce? You think Tyler's got like secret sauce or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Lots of time practicing.
Yeah. Well, Nelly, still podium finish here tonight in this 103. Great result for you and crew. Rally back had to chase down that 92 car in the closing laps. Great run for you. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Great partners on the car as always. Great folks to shout out. Floor is yours. You know what to do.
I want to thank Brian and Kathy Voiles. I want to thank Magoo. Thank you, Joe and Dewey, for doing this. Everybody out there watching, all the other drivers with us. And I want to thank my sponsor, the Medicine Chest.
Heck yeah. Well, Nelly, again, congratulations on the 3rd place finish here tonight. Always a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for your time as always, and good luck here. I think next time we'll see you is a few weeks' time. as we head to, I can actually pull that up. We head to, drum roll please. That was a terrible drum. We head to Bristol on November 14th, so we'll see you then,
Oh,
Nelly.
Alrighty. Sounds good, Joe.
BSR Nelly, driver of the 103, your third place finisher here tonight from Rockingham. Let's go ahead and let's talk with our second place finisher, driver of the number 17, Dane Stinson. Dane, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, second place run for you tonight. You're able to fend off that 18 car to stay on the lead lap there at the end. What made you kind of separate from the rest of the competition here tonight?
I think just having a good setup. I mean, obviously Tyler, premier driver all night. Nobody could compete with him. But I think I was just able to make a good enough setup to be ahead of everybody else. And yeah, I mean, that's probably the easiest, most chill second place I've ever gotten in any kind of race. So, but it was still fun. I had fun.
How tough is it there? Because we saw, Tyler made the pit stop there, and then you came that same lap. How tough is it to kind of manage the, hey, I can kind of follow what the 18 does, and I'm going to finish second, versus maybe taking that risk to try to run it out to the end?
Yeah, I thought about kind of taking a risk there, but I think really kind of following what Tyler was doing there, that's probably the only reason why I was able to run basically in second all night. So.
How hard were you trying there at the end to try to stay on the lead lap with that 18 breathing down your neck?
That was definitely the hardest I've driven all race, but I think Tyler was being a little nice to me.
Fair enough. Well, Dane, a great-looking Adidas Toyota out there tonight. Great result for you in the 17 team. Before I let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Again, great-looking car, great partners, great folks behind you. Floor is yours for shout-outs.
Yeah, I want to thank Tyler for introducing me to BSR, and I want to thank everybody that is running BSR. Magoo and I believe Brain Frayed, does he run BSR as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all these guys here at BSR, I know they've been doing it for a long time. This is only my second race, but I think this is my new home for sure.
Yeah, well, Dane, we're glad to hear it. Looking forward to seeing you out on track throughout the rest of the season. Congratulations on the second place run. Pleasure getting to talk to you here tonight, and hope we're talking with you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Dane Stinson, driver of the number 17, your second place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and finally head on down to Victory Lane and talk with the driver that put a butt kicking on the field. He's driver of the number 18, Tyler Mallon. Tyler, you got a copy?
I got a copy, Joe.
Why didn't you lap the 17 there at the end?
Well, because he's fast. I was trying to. What?
I don't know. I feel like you kind of let him off a little bit easy there.
Well, I wasn't going to take any unnecessary risks.
I feel like you weren't trying hard enough. I feel like you did not follow the 100% rule, and I feel like this win should be revoked because of it.
So what I should do is Austin Dillon him next time, is what you're saying?
I think you should try to put the whole field lap down, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. On a serious note, though, how'd you manage to put such a whooping on the field tonight?
Had a few setup tricks and put them in the car tonight, and it worked.
Setup tricks?
Yeah.
What kind of tricks?
I'll tell you when we're off air.
Okay.
Yeah. Told all the guys up in the garage what I did to that car. It was pretty
Oh, you don't want everyone else in the world to hear? Just the garage?
Screw 'em.
Okay, all right, fair enough. What's it mean to get a win at a track like Rockingham? Because we know everyone was coming into tonight. There's little trepidation with way things went with Truck Series race last night, chaos, calamity, and the like. But what's it mean to win a race at a track that's tough like Rockingham is?
Well, Rockingham is probably my favorite track that we go to. Now that we started going to it, this by far is what I consider my best track, and I enjoy driving it and just doing laps on my own. I love racing on it with other people. I love I love saving my tires and not having to worry about fuel because tires don't last until the end of the fuel run anyway. So, but yeah, it's meaningful to get a win on my favorite track like that. It was a lot of fun just going out there and racing with everyone, and I'm really looking forward to coming back here later in the season.
Well, Tyler, again, a great job here tonight for you in this 18 team. Congratulations on the big W at Rockingham. Before I let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Great partners, great folks behind you. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
First off, I want to shout out you guys for broadcasting. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you to Magoo for putting on this show every week. And Brain and Nelly and Monty and Matt and everybody in BSR really who comes up and runs every week and puts on great races like this. And Brian and Kathy Voiles for all they do for the series. Really, Interstate Batteries for being on the car. I don't know. It was just a lot of fun to come here.
Well, Tyler, a lot of fun to watch you here tonight. Put an excellent showing in as always. Congratulations on the big win. Always a pleasure to talk with you. Hopeful to be talking with you again soon. Have a feeling we will. Best of luck here in the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series, and hope to be seeing you do well at Bristol in a few weeks' time.
Thank you so much.
BSR Tyler Mallon, driver the number 18, your race winner here tonight from Rockingham. Dewey, that 18 put a whooping on the field, but boy, oh boy, we did see a pretty good Rockingham race tonight.
Indeed, we did. I mean, obviously a bit of a smaller field, but no shortage of excitement and strategy and just good old-fashioned hard racing. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know how else we could describe what we just saw there from the 18 than just flat out dominant in every way, shape, and form. Again, good luck finding any other race on really any platform where the leader just does that to everybody else. So tip of the cap, of course, to what we just saw happen there, and we'll see if the field's got anything for them the next time they make their way down here to Rockingham.
You know, everyone's going to be testing, tuning, and trying to find a way to catch that 18 all throughout this season, especially after the race we saw here tonight. Folks, if you liked what you saw, make sure you check out the Bomb Squad Racing League Facebook group. We should have that linked in the video description below. If not, we'll get that fixed. But can't thank all these guys, as always, Magoo, the entire admin team here, for all the support that they give us here on JTN, for allowing us to come out and call these races as we will periodically throughout the season. It's always a pleasure to get to do some broadcasting for these guys here at Bomb Squad Racing. The next time we'll be doing that, though, is going to be Monday night for the Danny Hardy Memorial, a special race, Texas Motor Speedway prizes for drivers, great race in honor of Danny Hardy. Encourage you, if you haven't already, go set a reminder to make sure you're tuning in for that one Monday night at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time as we head to the Texas Motor Speedway. A big thank you, as always, here on Thursday nights when we're with our friends here at the Bomb Squad Racing League. Has to go out to Brian and Kathy Voiles, Voiles Trucking, for their support of the Bomb Squad Racing League and the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series being live here on JTN. Folks, with all that being said, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague, Dewey Schramm, I've been Joe Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up, off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, not 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back of the wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Ricky
big
J
wreck.
big crash into the wall.
Oh,
the leaders
no.
have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard on the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junk.
through the north chute they'll go. The 24's into the wall, almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact, turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Block 200 in thrilling